something unfortunate happens to your console or something to that, you know, if you have to reset for whatever reason, there is everyone's favorite, the continue code, but I guess we'll get to that if we need it, because here we go. I'm happy to already see somebody getting a mushroom here. 1-1 actually not the fastest mushroom if you are going to go for Fire Flower strats, but certainly the safest one to go for.
So there are 3 different ways of playing Warpless here. Take us through them a little bit.
So, okay. We already kind of talked about small only, at least that Cosmic was going to do it. Obviously, if small only, you're not going to get any power-ups, but you have the benefit of Mario's smaller hitbox size. The downside, of course, you're small Mario, so if you happen to miss a jump, you run into a Goomba, it's over. Back to wherever the last checkpoint was. Quite Super Mario down there at the bottom right, he already has a Fire Flower, so he's going to be going with Fire Strats. Benefits of Fire Strats, obviously, you have Fireballs, so a lot of these enemies that might be difficult to do pipe jumps over, not going to have to worry so much about it. Also, if you fire kill Bowser at the end of the Dash 4 levels, usually when you touch that axe, the bridge disappears, it takes a couple of seconds. Not so with a fire kill. So basically, you're betting that your the time you spend getting the Fire Flower, you're going to get back on all those fire kills. Not on stream here, but Supersonic is famous for doing it. Small Fire Mario strats. There's a glitch where if you touch the axe the same frame, you get hit by Bowser. The game gets very confused. We were talking about the NES getting confused earlier. Yeah. Basically, the game thinks you're small Mario, so one hit will kill you, but in size and stature, you are big Mario. And then when you get the next power-up, you get a mushroom to become small Mario. And you can see where this is going. You get the benefit of the small size of Mario, but you also have fireballs. It's kind of the best of both worlds if you can spend the time to do it. But,
interesting here that Cosmic is not going Fire Strats.
Ooh.
But
I think he got it.
Oh, is he going?
So you can kind of see Cosmic's flashing there. So he's going for Small Fire Mario, I think. Royal, Raikou, and the rest of the gang going with Fire Strats. Royal and Raikou, I believe, got a mushroom and Fire Flower in 1-3 and 1-4, which is actually the preferred, fastest way to do it. So that's what's going for them. And there's Cosmic. So the funny thing you're going to see is every time he throws a fireball, there is no small Mario throwing a Fire Flower, a fireball, a sprite. So you're going to see this little blip of Super Mario throwing a fireball. So enjoy. We haven't talked about the levels very much.
Yeah.
A little unfortunate here. 2-1, though, is actually one of the more complicated levels, more involved to get through safely. And you can see Raiku's having a... Well, he's taking things safe, which is good. But and he's going to get through. So let's have some more fun here.
Now, of course, you don't want to hit 6 or 3 on the timer. Those are fireworks, cause you extra lag. 1 doesn't matter, because the time you take to avoid getting 1 is just about the same amount of time as it takes to actually get the 1 firework.
Yep. Fireworks in Mario 1, they just go off, like you were saying, that last digit on the timer. So most of these runners, as you get into the top levels, you kind of understand where you're going to be when you reach the flagpole, how much leeway you have in avoiding those numbers, and especially, too, when you come out of these pipes. Like, Royal Gamer is getting out of there with a 6, so he should actually hit this at 3:10. Just kind of knowing how much time it takes to get from the pipe to the flagpole lets you kind of adjust as needed when you're touching that flag to make sure you don't accidentally get fireworks you don't want.
Looks like Royal Gamer's starting off pretty well, ahead of Cosmic, even. Yeah, with
he is. It's worth noting, though. Every time you get a power up, right? That's a little bit of time you're eating in order to get there. And for going for a Small Fire Mario, you actually need to get a 3rd power up and wait for Bowser to get into position before you touch the axe. So Royal Gamer's edge at this point, more or less, is actually the time it takes Cosmic to get those extra power-ups and to kind of set up Small Fire Mario.
Saw Cosmic going for, you hit the bottom of the pipe, which very often people think, why don't speedrunners just hit the bottom of the pipe, bottom of the flagpole anyway? But you have to wait for the flag to come down regardless, so it's actually faster to hit the flagpole up on top. But what Cosmic was going for was a glitch that doesn't have the flag go down, actually. and he missed it
Indeed.
there. But yeah,
Let's see if
I don't know if
if
that's something that you probably wouldn't go for a lot in tournament races, right? Is that more of a
yeah, I would think
showcase
that's
race?
more an RTA showcase rate
Yeah.
sort of strat there. It's something that you either get it and you save a little bit of time, or you don't get it and you waste quite a bit of time.
What kind
So
of backup
two
strats are we
down.
going to be seeing in later stages? Especially because you start with 3 lives, and if you can continue in this game, and it takes you to the beginning of the world. How
Yeah.
nerve-wracking does it get if you're like at 1 life going into a castle dungeon level?
That can actually be pretty nerve-wracking. You'll probably see some players, if it comes down to it, go a little slower than they'd like, just to make sure. 3-4 is actually a good example of that, because there's a lot of potapos, the fireballs that jump out of lava, and you don't know exactly which height they're going to go all the time. So you might want to take it slow rather than kind of going full speed ahead. Of course, these players, Cosmic Royal Gamer, I'm sure they know what they're doing. And they also are probably a little more aware of which frame rule they're on, which is another thing we haven't talked about yet. But it basically boils down to a method of determining what the RNG of the game is going to be. So if they're playing at their PB pace, or whatever their splits say they are, they probably have a good idea of what they're about to face.
Basically, levels start in 21 frame increments. So if you know what frame, and the randomness in the game is based on time, and if you know the time that you're playing on, you know what the enemies are going to do, how they're going to react. It's very important in these dungeon levels, these 4 levels here. What are they called? Dungeon levels? Castle levels like that?
I think I'd go with castle levels. I don't think I've heard anybody call them dungeon levels. Definitely Bowser levels, Dash 4 levels, castle levels.
Yeah.
You could see Cosmic there even was, not Cosmic, Royal Gamer I was watching kind of slowed down a little bit in some of the spots. Cosmic charging ahead, although also taking things a little slower. 4-1 is a pretty free level, actually, though, because this is the one everybody knows how to get the 340 on. Because all you've got to do is hold right and jump over the piranha plants, and Lakitu's coding in this game isn't quite what it should have been. So he'll just always stay off on the right side of the screen, tossing spinies in front of you. Not really a threat. The other thing, though, just to go back to the backup strats, I think we see the first death there, just as I was about to get to it.
Yeah.
But if a player does get into the start of a world and only has like their last life left, you're probably going to see them actually find whatever the fastest way to die in that stage is and just jump in. When you continue, like you said, you start at the start of the world, but you could also kind of refill your lives in that way. And on the NES, it's everyone's favorite, just hold A when you push start, and you'll start at whatever world you were in. On the SNES version, you can just continue, and you'll be fine. No tricks needed.
All right, we're 8 minutes in. We're hoping. What do you think a standard winning time is going to be from guys like Cosmic and Supersonic, and that is like 1920 going to win you a race against those guys a lot?
1920 should probably be an easy win every time until you start getting to those top players. Like Royal and Cosmic, I feel like they might be in that 1920 pace together. So maybe not. But of course, everything up until World 4 is kind of pretty easy. 4-4, it's worth noting, is actually one of the 2 maze castle levels in the game. There's kind of a precise path you have to take. Even kind of just jumping and bonking randomly, which you wouldn't think would do much, might throw the NES's hit detection off and cause the game to think you took the wrong path. So it's important to do the right thing here. In Cosmic, you could see there too, because you small Mario, he didn't have to duck or hesitate in as many places. So he's able to gain a little bit of time back on Royal Gamer there.
Yeah, Royal Gamer
notably probably
Bowser
the hardest
either.
Bowser in the game.
Yeah, he didn't have a good Bowser either. A Royal Gamer.
Yeah, 4-4 Bowser has that fire bar in the middle of the bridge. I think he's universally thought to be the worst one.
The Hammer Brothers, they used to wreck people, me as a kid, and now they're like easily avoidable. Watching people do these.
It's funny you bring that up because 5-2 is coming up ahead, and I think there's 6 Hammer Brothers in this stage, and a lot of the time when you're fighting Hammer Brothers in a speedrun, there's a little quirk to the way stomping works in this game that you wouldn't think is there. But the way stomping works in the original game, as long as Mario's moving down, if he hits the enemy's hitbox at all, it counts as a stomp. It doesn't matter if it's Mario's foot or if Mario punches the enemy in their feet, or whatever. It looks weird sometimes, but that's a stomp. And so you can use that to your advantage to kind of like almost drop kick with a duck jump the Hammer Brothers. 5-3 is one of 2 levels in this game where bullet bills just kind of fly randomly from the right side of the screen. Of course, the players here probably know what they're doing. They're also stomping that Goomba because, like we were saying, the NES not so good at keeping everything on the screen it could. It's very easy to actually despawn the right platform there. I think that's the only instance of something like that in this game, fortunately.
Although that still goes into Super Mario World too, doesn't it? Despawning platforms.
Oh, man. Yep.
Yeah.
So our Mario World players in the tournament know all about that.
Yeah.
And the elevator jump there. These two are actually neck and neck on the left side of your screens right now.
And
in fact, Cosmic got it first.
Great. Yeah. He is now in front, as we would expect.
Quite Super Mario and Riker Rider working their way through World 5. 5-1, not the easiest level. Royal Gamer, actually, I think he hip-checked Lakitu there.
Yeah.
Don't know how else to describe that one.
Yeah.
I'm hoping these two hold on to their fire here. 6-2, I would say, is probably one of the harder levels to do fast in the game. If you're not worried about speed, it's actually quite easy. It's Riker Rider, they're taking a hit, unfortunately, because these bullet bills, if you don't know where they're coming, one of them is bound to troll you. So 6-2, lots of piranha plants, so easy if you're going slow, hard to go fast.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite stages to watch because it's kind of unique because there's no other stage that has nearly as many piranha plants.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like the next closest one. It doesn't even matter because they're not so packed together.
Yeah. You see them there actually slowing down to not get the fireworks. One of those instances where they slow down. You'll see that again in 8-3.
I'm trying to remember if 6-2 is a level where you can catch a 7. But again, if you slow down at all, even in that case, you have to wait even longer to not get a 6. What happened to Royal Gamer? I looked away and he's not on the screen anymore.
Man. No, I was looking at Cosmic.
So that's also kind of, you were talking about what's a winning time, is a 1920 going to win? I mean, there's a chance you're going to see at some point a pair of 1920s, but more likely than not, you'll have something like this happen, because one mistake kind of throwing out the whole run, you never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
And if you do want to stick with fire strats, each time you do that, I'd say it's like 8-10 seconds to find your power-ups, get them, and get back to work.
Yeah. That's why you'll see a lot of the lower-seeded players do more small strats, because once you get hit, you're down to... It's not like a later Mario game where you keep your bigness, I guess. You go immediately down to small. So it takes time to replenish that to get to big, and then a Fire Flower, it's 2 power-ups. And we've seen races in where you get right as soon as you get your Fireball again, you get Fire Mario, you get hit. And all of a sudden, now you just lost. It was like a waste of time to get those power-ups.
Good stomp from Royal Gamer handling the Hammer Bros there.
Oh, 6-2, we lost fire there for Riker Rider.
Yeah. I mean, that's also, though, why it's important to know where your power-ups are, where you can get it back. Like, Quite Super Mario is going to get that mushroom there, because 6-2 is just a terrible level to go through all those piranha plants without it. And there is one power-up in 6-2 itself, along with a star that you didn't see anybody get. And that's, again, 7-1, another level. There's 2 power-ups. They're kind of far apart, but if you can manage to get fire, now you have fire for the water level. Or, it's a water level. You're not going to be stomping on anything anyway. You got to just swim around everything. Royal Gamer coming in here, small Mario. He's confident in his skills. He's just going to get through this.
Now, the mechanics in water is weird. When you have like a pit, it like really affects Mario's mechanics. Can you explain that a little bit? What the feel is, what it actually does?
Yeah, I'm not going to get this perfectly by any stretch, but you're definitely right. Like, there's sort of a whirlpool effect where like the pit is trying to suck you in underwater, and if you're just kind of casually swimming along, you're kind of floating, letting the momentum take Mario. When you get to that pit, you better be mashing A. Sometimes you'll get sucked in really fast, and it's all over. You just got to kind of mash through that.
Now we have had, this is a, can't remember how many entrants. There's like 20 to 30 entrants in this race. And we've had a couple casualties so far. We have had 2 forfeits, and that's going to happen in the tournament. You know, you take a couple game overs, play bad, and you might feel like you're so behind you're going to forfeit. So that is something to keep in mind for this tournament as it goes along.
7-4 the other maze level. That's why you see the players kind of taking an awkward path through here, seemingly. But otherwise, yeah, you're right. I think you're going to see players sort of not forfeit, because this isn't a randomizer tournament. You're allowed to kind of look over at the Speed Gaming channel and see how your opponent's doing. Mm-hmm. So I suspect you'll see players keep playing until the other one finishes, but definitely a possibility to also say, forget it, I'm not dealing with this anymore. Especially way back in the day, there was this thing called SRL Season 1, and there was a lot of Mario 1 races at the time. And I remember kind of the showcase races for that. There were tons of players. They're kind of joining for fun, and they were in World 8 for like a half hour each.
Yeah.
World 8 notable because kind of like all the Dash 4 levels, there are no checkpoints once you're in World 8. So you're either beating the entire level in one go, or that's it. And World 8-1, probably the longest level in the game, actually takes 100 in-game seconds to get through it optimally. Cosmic gets his 200. Very nice. Royal Gamer not going to risk the pipe jumps there, going to just kind of wait. And that's sort of, the downside of losing fire. If fire strats are your life and you're small Mario, you're probably going to hesitate when you get to a weird situation like that.
Yeah, are we going to see a bunch of 8-2 1-ups?
Probably as the tournament goes on, we'll see 8-2 1-ups. There's a 1-up notably directly above the spring early in the stage. It's pretty easy to get, and can kind of keep your race going if you're not comfortable with 8-2. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, no bullet bill glitch setup for Cosmic. I think everybody knows that, especially from the any % run, because if you're a fan of any % runs of this game, you have to go through World 8 anyway. Oh, Royal Gamer has a shot.
Going for it.
He got it!
Oh, and he gets it! Nice!
So the game is actually set up to make Mario walk into a block that is behind the castle, and as soon as he stops moving forward, the timer runs out. But if you kind of do what you just saw there, the game thinks you hit the flagpole, but it doesn't quite put you on top of it. So, well, that happens, and Mario just walks into the block at the bottom. Mm-hmm. 8-3, you saw Royal Gamer take some of those like sort of drop kick jumps, that's what I keep calling them, to take out these Hammer Brothers. Because otherwise, it's always scary going through 8-3. And it looks like Cosmic and Royal Gamer are screwing up a little bit at that top. They kind of jump into the block. That's, again, dodging 3 fireworks.
Oh, we got the pipe jump
time at the end of the stage. Nice! the wall jump pixel.
This is truly a showcase race. We got a flagpole glitch. We've got a pipe jump.
Getting everything here.
Yeah, the only thing we haven't gotten is a flagpole glitch, and it was at least gone for.
Yeah, those are not the most common things to get.
Yeah. That's RTA strats, not race strats.
So let's see, Cosmic. He's gonna.
Oh, he went for
it! He didn't quite jump through the hammers, but you can see he took the hit and became Super Mario again.
Yeah.
Because of the small fire.
1924 for Cosmic on SRL here.
SRL, of course, starts at 0 all the time, no matter what, and timing for this game starts at first movement. So you push start at the 0 of the countdown, and then it's like 2.5 seconds, roughly, before you actually get to start moving. Thus, kind of that 1920 on Cosmic Stream. Royal Gamer wrapping things up
Yep.
here with a 1944.
We've got 4 sub-20s in this race. That's
Goofy
pretty good.
Chocobo, actually, not
Yeah.
on stream, but coming in second here with a 1933. And a few more people finishing up. LK 431, Supersonic, also in the SGDQ relay race, finishing in 5th.
Mhm.
And Kaku just wrapping up now as well. Just because there are a lot of people here asking about it in chat, the SNES version, which is the Mario All-Stars version again, is basically allowed for this tournament along with the NES version. The NES version is preferred just for a little bit of extra speed. The SNES version, you basically end up with less things despawning on you. So that actually makes things a little harder. The hitboxes are fixed. That makes things a little harder for jumping over piranha plants. And there's a couple of other little things like jumping through bricks behaves slightly differently when you break them with Super Mario on SNES. But if you want to go with
preference, like
I want to say there's no way the SNES version is faster. I haven't gone back and like looked for Darbian's notes on it in a long time, but I know he did some work on making this version of the game fast as well. And I'm pretty sure the NES version is still the faster version. But otherwise, for the tournament, it's just kind of preference, what you want to use, what you have access to, and it's just stuff like that.
We should try to get Cosmic in here for an interview if he's available. They're coming in fast and furious right now.
You know, lots of people finishing up. We were talking earlier, like a 1920 is probably an easy win time, and Cosmic, well, got a 1920.
Yeah.
And Royal Gamer still performing very well, getting a higher 19 and still coming in third. 19 is basically kind of that time for you only had 1 or 2 places where you messed up. I would expect a lot of 19s. A lower 19 is probably a definite win. A higher 19 will get you through the early rounds. Once you start getting to the 20 range, that's where you kind of start thinking, okay, this is where you're going to get the good players that had bad runs, and then the other kind of the mid-tier players are going to finish in a lot in the 20s.
Yeah.
And once you get past really even 21, that's where you kind of get to hopefully our new crop of Mario 1 runners that are going to be coming in and reaching that sub-20 tier very soon. You can kind of see here, I was talking about with the bricks, we're already past it for most of the runners, but Raikou Rider and Quiet Super Mario kind of taking their time dealing with the Hammer Brothers. Raikou Rider knowing where the 2 power-ups in 8-3 are to get his Fire Flower back to make 8-4 a lot easier. 8-4 being easier, actually, also, we're kind of talking version differences. Just stomping that Hammer Brother in 8-4, the last Hammer Brother in the game, is harder on SNES. I forget exactly why, but I know there's a different setup. The NES version, there's kind of a surefire setup. 99% of the time, you will stomp that Hammer Brother. Even if you're Small Mario, you will survive and get to Bowser, which is all you really want at that point in the game.
And here's the winner. Just coming in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. How's it going, Cosmic?
Hey, pretty good.
Congratulations on the showcase win.
Pretty decent run.
Yeah, 1920 is a pretty solid race time, I would imagine.
1920 is okay.
I think there's 1 or 2 people with better PB than that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're one of them. Great race. Great race.
Take it, like, would you approach this race any differently than a tournament race?
In the tournament race, I probably wouldn't. I went for like 3 flagpole glitches, so I would have saved a few seconds. I wouldn't have wasted otherwise, but pretty much the same. Small fire is really good. Throw away like 7 or 8 seconds at the start, but I'm really consistent at it, so I'm trying to decide what to do for the tournament races.
Are you still more comfortable with the small strats overall than the big Mario strats?
I think between I'm probably about the same at this point. It's more just a matter of what can you do when everything gets random, and I think small fire is the best because you're not gonna, like, if you get fire flower, you might get hit by cheeps and stuff all over the place and have to get a bunch of power-ups anyway. That's why I went with small fire.
And you went for and got the flagpole, not the flagpole, but the pipe jump, which is, we were happy to see that.
8-4, yeah. 314, 8-4 is good.
What's the record for
Warpless?
Yeah, no, for the time in 8-4. What time are you looking for?
In a run, I would want to get 315, I guess. You can do like that wastes a little bit of time. So if I did the fast wall jump setup, it would have been 315.
Well, so you feel confident in the tournament? I mean, looking at the PBs, that you've got like a 6-second lead over the second seed, just in PBs. So you obviously, since you're the first seed, you have to be considered the favorite to win this tournament. How confident are you?
Pretty confident. Like, if I do small fire, I'm pretty confident I can get a time like this almost every time. I think is if I try and do big fire and then get hit a bunch. I would like to see what I can do with big fire, because the other day I did a run with big fire and I got 1913 in a race. So we'll just see what happens.
So your consistency has been really good. I guess that's more important than just having a good time. It's having consistently good times, because there's like in the Zelda tournament, it's very easy to have a bad time, and if you lose, you could be out of the tournament. So definitely getting the consistent times. Your low range, I guess, is what's important to you.
What I'm gonna do, at least at first, is if that I think I have a decent shot at beating, I'll try big fire and see how it goes, just to kind of test the waters more in tournament setting. But if I'm against someone like, I don't know, like Goofy Chocobo, Supersonic, some of the really good players, I'm probably do small fire, at least towards the beginning of the bracket, because I'm really consistent with it.
All right. Well, do you have anything else for Cosmic here, Mr. Cap?
I think that was it. I think he's got it right. I mean, I hope I can force him to have his mind made up by the quarterfinals before he meets Supersonic. But other than that, I think that's where I'm scheduled to play Cosmic, if it works out.
That'll be an exciting one.
We have a nice bracket. I know it's getting linked there in chat. I think predictions are still open, but
yes, predictions are still open for the next few hours.
Yeah, until the end of Sunday, I think.
Yeah, until the end of today, and then the actual thing starts in the next. I think you can actually start doing races in like 10 hours from now, just so
whenever we're past
to do the predictions. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, we only have one person out. Steel Racing. So this is a Fast and Furious thing. Like the worst players are only like 6-7 minutes behind the best players. So this is a Fast and Furious.
I mean, I'm sure all the top seeds all know this. We all know this. It only takes one or two mistakes to go from that low 19 or any 19 at all to a 21. So
yes,
Fast
absolutely.
and Furious. Watch your step, but don't go too slow.
Yeah, you have. If you get it if you can get a mid-20s, you have a chance to winning any race. It's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Definitely.
Really fast in this category.
All right. So I'm looking at Solus here. He's looks like he took a game over in World 6. Last 4 minutes to his VB. So just took a game over in World 8 and is redoing World 8 now. So
The second half of this game is is just pretty brutal. Really, once you get past World 4, it's like the easy stages are all done, and World 5 comes back, and all of a sudden the difficulty spikes.
Cosmic, do you have any particular stage you're absolutely worried about in Warpless that isn't like 8-1 or 8-2?
-3.
Which one?
It's really easy to die in 1-2, and grabbing the mushroom in 1-3, sometimes I fall in the pit before the block.
Oh.
So as long as I don't do either of those two things, I'll probably have a good race.
Yeah, when you're jumping down there, if you want to get below the question block on the left side for that power-up, it's a very narrow gap there. It's pretty easy to fall in. And so I'm still more worried about 5-3 and the bullet bills.
1-2 and 1-3 pretty much every race, but once I'm past those, yeah, there are some later stages like 5-3 or 7-2, you can get hit by something random, which is really bad when you're small fire Mario, because you grow into big Mario, and if you get hit again, you die. This is big, and you have no fireballs to defend yourself. It's just the worst power-up state you can be in.
Yep.
Can I just quickly thank Rupert and Diesel for all the hard work, and then for the commentary?
Sure, yeah. This if this tournament is being run by Rupert, he was in the race that we didn't have him on, but yeah, he's kind of the grand master of the tournament. So if you guys are enjoying the tournament as it goes along, thank Rupert for that. And then, you know, there aren't enough words for what Fiesel does with speed gaming. So, you know,
between these two guys, Rupert kind of being a big name behind the scenes in Mario 1 for a long time, Fiesel obviously running the whole Speed Gaming Network, letting us have this whole tournament here. Just shout outs to you guys.
Yep.
And yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we can kind of wrap up the showcase race for today. It is exciting what's coming up on. Will all of the races be on Speed Gaming?
I think we're going to get as many of them as we can. I mean, I'm sure this has happened with other tournaments by now. Not everybody can either arrange the race at the right time. There's a whole lot of tournaments coming up on the Speed Gaming family of networks this winter, spring season.
Yeah.
So the calendar at times is inevitably going to be full.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see Speed Gaming 5 live just yet, so...
Yeah. I know we got coming up here, we've got... is that a showcase? I'm not sure. On this channel, on 2, we've got Super Mario Brothers 3 Randomizer. I don't know if that's the tournament opener or what that is right offhand, but that's coming up at the top of the hour. On the flagship, you've got something that's kind of close to me, as you would imagine. It's the Zelda tournament.
Is that the No Up A or the Rando?
It's a No Up A. It's a No Up A tournament.
Vanilla.
Yeah, there's 2 races coming up on Speed Gaming. And the randomizer is actually coming on after. There's 2 Zelda races, No Up A, and then there's a randomizer race right after. So
don't touch that browser.
Yeah, if you like Zelda, and you know, I'm supposed to, since you know I've run the game for 7 years now. Stay tuned for that. We've got, you know, looks like Link to the Past coming up. Their nightly races as well. So it's a Zelda day once we're done here with Super Mario Brothers on Speed Gaming. So that's exciting.
I like some Mario. I like some Zelda. So, yeah, make sure you give the channel a follow and stick around for more races.
You didn't end up joining the Zelda tournament, did you?
I did not. I really wanted to, but I do not have the time to join too much right now, unfortunately. And Mario one's, given the SDQ race last year, it's still kind of fresh enough in my mind. I can just jump into it and not worry about trying to grind down. Zelda 1, as long as we're talking about the Zelda routes, there's 2 or 3 routes to the Zelda 1 no save and quit route as well. and I'm still on sort of the beginner route for that. And I just barely got below the 40 minutes, and that's a game where you expect the top tier players to be getting around 30 minutes, if not just below 30 minutes.
Yeah. I can't believe that you value raising a kid over joining a Zelda tournament.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's awful.
Family.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I mean, in Zelda, it's 30:08 was the best time so far in the tournament, which was done by me. Just to let you know, everybody here now, just saying.
I might have
So
noticed
far.
that the other night.
Yeah, just saying.
This guy.
Yeah. So one interesting note that I just noticed: there are 60 people in the Super Mario Brothers tournament. There's also 60 in the Zelda tournament, so that seems to be a really solid number.
60 is a nice pool of entrants there. Yeah. I've seen some with more, and I've also seen those kind of drag out a little more as you try and round everybody up sometimes. So 60 is a good number. 64 is a good size for a bracket. I think the month of March has proven that time and time again.
Yep, I think that'll be good. Now, this tournament's a little bit unique in that it's Swiss got popular, but this is going straight into this is just double elimination here, so it's might be a little bit faster, at least at the very beginning, until you might get some bogged down in the losers bracket, but.
If you haven't seen some of the double elimination tournaments before kind of speed gaming and group play took off, I think almost every tournament I saw was double elimination. The only downside to double elimination tends to be the losers bracket bogging down, like you said, since in order to kind of keep pace with the winners bracket, you have to kind of play twice as fast to keep things lined up. Otherwise, usually what happens is the winners bracket finishes way too fast and the losers bracket then needs to catch up. Hopefully that doesn't happen here. I think we have a pack of excited entrants who are going to keep playing Mario 1 for a few weeks. I've got faith in this community.
We did get our final competitor finishing at 36:06.
Nice.
Solus has finished. So we had only 2 forfeits. GDF, who's done Super Mario Brothers at GDQ events, and Zane 64. We have 2 forfeit.
Yep, happens in a showcase race. Not too surprised. You don't want to raise the frustration level too much, but I'm sure in the tournament races they'll be up to snuff.
All right. Well, I got nothing else. I guess we can.
I'm waiting for the cane to come out from the side of the
I know,
speed gaming curtain here and pull me
off. Or the gong to be. I don't hear a gong right now. Anybody got a gong sound? Well,
I've only got the Price is Right horns, but.
That's more for bad play than get off the stage. Although,
well, I mean, it is us, so you never know.
Yeah. So, I guess we can host for another 15 minutes or play a playlist, but we'll sign off. And then again, we've got Super Mario Brothers 3 Randomizer coming up on this channel at the top of the hour, and then at the top of the hour on Speed Gaming, we've got the Zelda tournament.
Do we know who's in this race that's coming up? I don't know if
I'd have to pull it up. I think one of them is Adirondack Rick, and he's well known on Speed Gaming. He's done a lot of hosting. Nice. I'd have to pull it up here.
Adirondack Rick is he's been around for a while. Great guy. Mario 3 Rando should be good for him.
Oh, this is Zelda, not Super Mario Brothers Randomizer. I don't know anything about the Oh no, it's not. It might be a Lack Attack tonight. We've got.
Oh my.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. I think he's in the second.
You let him enter the Zelda 1 tournament?
He's the reason I entered. He's like, if he's going to enter, I might as well enter, because he notoriously avoids tournaments now. So yeah. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. Keep following Speed Gaming for more Super Mario Brothers tournament as it gets off the ground. And so So do you have? I didn't even prepare a sign off tonight. I didn't have time to. I usually prepare.
Usually the end of the Mario World tournaments races, I say don't lose cape, but don't really have a cape here to lose.
Yeah, and here and like in Zelda, it's like, you know, if you want to have a Zelda runner agree with you or choose the option you want, always makes it the second, because the Zelda runners always choose the latter.
Oh my!
But I don't have one for Super Mario Brothers.
I was gonna blame TGE when you brought up Zelda, but
Yeah. Maybe something to do with an axe. If you want to know how to beat Super Mario Brothers, just axe.
I guess that works.
All right, and we'll
Good
see
night,
how you
everybody.
guys- Yeah, good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.